Human beings claim to be at the top of food chain, and very well maybe, in today's suburban and city landscape. But what if human had to share the planet with these ancient animals? It is hard to think that human will remain dominant in this planet. And if you think the modern animal kingdom is frightening, then wait until you get a load of the animals that existed millions of years ago. These monstrous creatures can be really dangerous, and we are glad we don't have to face off against them. Pulmonaryscorpius is an extinct species of scorpion that lived between 330 and 345 million years ago. Pulmonaryscorpius was similar to modern-day scorpions, with front claws and a sting in its tail, except it is way bigger compared to modern scorpion. Fossils from this animal were found in Scotland, and scientists believe that it could grow up to 1 meter long, which means it could easily pick you up with its tail and throw you out. It is impossible to say how toxic the venom of Pulmonaryscorpius would have been, but based on the size and thickness of the tail, we cannot imagine how potent the venom will do to others. Dunkleosteus is an extinct genus of arthrodite placoderm fish that existed during the late Devonian period, about 358 to 382 million years ago. It was likely the largest placoderm that ever lived, which it can grow up to 30 feet long and weight in 4 tons. Dunkleosteus had a massive skull made of thick, bony plates, and didn't have actual teeth. However, it did have giant, sharp bones protruding from its mouth, and had a bite force of 80,000 pounds per square inch. Its beak-like mouth was specifically made for biting through armor, like its own, which made it to an apex predator of the seas during the late Devonian. Sarcocetus was the world's largest crocodile ever, which lived in 110 million years ago. It is also known as supercroc, lived in what are now Africa and South America. This supercroc appearance was fairly similar to modern crocodile or alligator, except it could grow up to 40 feet and weigh up to 8 tons. Unlike other giant, prehistoric crocodiles, Sarcocetus has an expansion at the end of its snout, known as a bulla. It was fed upon large marine turtles, fishes, and other aquatic and terrestrial prey, and capable of killing and eating large dinosaurs from the shores with its ambush skill, hanging around in shallow water. Like most crocodiles, Sarcocetus had a huge bite force, possibly up to 9 tons, far exceeding any modern-day crocodile, and even higher than the bite force of T-Rex. While the average human bite force is average 162 pounds per square inch, here is a list of most powerful modern animals' bite force. Lion, the king of jungle, but the bite force is far away from other big animals. Bite force measures 650 pounds per square inch. Next is tiger, largest of all cats in the world. Bite force measures 1050 pounds per square inch. Hyena, a well-known scavenger of Africa. They have exceptionally powerful jaws. Bite force measures 1,100 pounds per square inch. Following by grizzly bear, could easily bite through a cast iron skillet, thick grease, or bones. Bite force measures 1,200 pounds per square inch. Jaguar, it has the strongest bite than any other big cats. Bite force measures 2,000 pounds per square inch. That's almost twice as powerful than a tiger. Hippopotamus, with 1,825 pounds per square inch chewing power. Hippopotamus has the strongest bite force than any other living mammal. Alligator. The American alligator is the largest reptile in North America. Not the size, but the bite force makes American alligator so special, measuring at 2,125 pounds per square inch. Nile crocodile, with measuring at 5,000 pounds per square inch, makes it the most powerful bite force animal in the world. But based on studies, Sarcocetus is not the most powerful bite force creature in this world. We will talk about this creature later. Pelagonis sandersi is the largest wingspan of any flying bird that lived around 25 million years ago. It has estimated 7.4-meter wingspan, which was nearly twice the width of a wandering albatross, the living bird with the greatest wingspan, at 3.5 meter. The only known fossil of Pelagonis was first uncovered in 1983 at Charleston International Airport, South Carolina, while working construction building a new terminal there. At the time the bird lived, this area was an ocean. Pelagonis had short, stumpy legs, and was probably able to fly only by hopping off cliff edges. It has been estimated that it was able to fly at up to 37 miles per hour. Pelagonis had tooth-like spikes that lined the upper and lower jaws, called pseudoteeth, which would have enabled a living animal to better grip and grasp slippery prey. Just after the dinosaurs went extinct around 60 million years ago, a massive snake, called Titanoboa, took their place as the biggest predator on Earth. In 2009, the fossils of 28 individuals of Titanoboa were found in the coal mines of Sarcocetus in Colombia. The largest individuals of Titanoboa found had a total length around 13 meters, with 1 meter in diameter, and weighed about 1,135 kilograms. The largest living snakes in the world today, undeniable, it is green anaconda, which could easily grow up to 5.2 meter long and weigh 227 kilograms. If we define the longest snake in the world, it would be the reticulated python, which it can easily stretch over 8 meter long. Regardless, both large snakes look absolutely tiny compared to Titanoboa. This baddest predator does not have fangs for injecting venom, but it kills by constriction, with a squeeze of crushing 400 pounds per square inch of pressure, equivalent to being squeezed with the weight of 3 Eiffel Towers. That makes Titanoboa top of the food chain. It could eat fish, turtle, smaller snakes, birds and mammals. Even fearsome predators, like prehistoric crocodiles, would be swallowed by Titanoboa. Arcturus, may not a very well-known name, it is more common to known as short-faced bear. Natives of California, until about 11,000 years ago. The largest Arcturus was estimated weighed about 900 kilograms, and could stand up anywhere between 3.5 meter long. Considered to be one of the largest known terrestrial mammalian carnivores that has ever existed. They were 50% larger than the biggest polar bears in recorded history. Arcturus was almost entirely carnivorous and would have needed about 35 pounds of meat a day to get by. With such an immense size and obviously powerful jaws, makes Arcturus as an apex predator that could kill anything it wanted. Quetzalcoatlus, probably the largest flying creatures ever known, lived around 66 million years ago. Nearly as tall as a giraffe, and with a 35-foot wingspan of an F-16 fighter. Quetzalcoatlus dominated the skies of North America at the end of the dinosaur age, and flew high over such famous creatures as Tyrannosaurus and Triceratops. Quetzalcoatlus was a high-speed fisher, gliding over the sea and plucking out prey. They were likely not only highly comfortable catching prey from sky, but was also a formidable land predator. With their long legs and powerful jaws, they could easily snap off their prey from ground. Back to approximately 23 million years ago, the most powerful bite force creature, Megalodon, was the largest shark ever to prowl the oceans, and one of the largest fish on record. It is classified to be close relative of the great white shark, and very similar in the appearance. Megalodon means giant tooth, and for good reason. Its massive teeth are almost 3 times larger than the teeth of a modern great white shark. An estimate to grow between 15 to 19 meters in length. With teeth as big as human hands, it would have had a bite force of 20 tons. which means this mega shark could smash a small car or crush a ship in half with a kind of bite. This gigantic shark obviously required a massive amount of food, and it's been estimated an adult megalodon may have had to consume over a ton of food per day to sustain itself. Fossil evidence points to the megalodon preying on whales and other large marine mammals such as sea cows and sea lions. While most studies showed megalodons are long gone, but it is scary to think of. What if it is still alive, somewhere deep down in the ocean? Megalania live around 50,000 years ago, also known as giant monitor lizard, that once roamed southern Australia. It belonged to the family of monitor lizards and was the largest known to science terrestrial lizards, reaching 5 meters in length and weighing more than 300 kilograms. Like these relatives, it's likely Megalania was a venomous animal, and if that's the case, it's the largest venomous vertebrate to ever live. Megalania would have likely assumed the apex predator among the megafauna. Its body and limbs were heavily built, and it had a large skull with a jaw full of serrated blade-like teeth. Megalania, hunting in the grassy savannas and sparse forests of various animals like reptiles and birds, kangaroos, and a protodon. Mosasaurus, an immense sea-going monster, once ruled the Cretaceous seas 70 million years ago. Mosasaurus are not actually dinosaurs, neither fish species, but in fact aquatic squamate reptile. The largest mosasaur could grow to over 58 feet long, with a streamlined skull bristling with teeth, a barrel-like trunk for its midsection. Its forelimbs were shaped into robust paddles to steer the animal underwater, and a long, powerful tail. Mosasaurus was a predator that had excellent vision to compensate for its poor sense of smell. It also had a bite force of 13,000 pounds per square inch, greater than the terrestrial predator. Mosasaurus lived near the surface of the water. It breathed air, much as whales do. They were carnivores, feeding on whatever edible animals were unfortunate enough to cross their path, such as big fishes, plesiosaurs, and even other mosasaurs. Which extinct creature do you think is the most terrifying? Let us know with your comment. Let us all be thankful that we don't live in the age of these giant creatures. We don't know for sure if human can still be top of the food chain in this world, living with these creatures.